What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB, and we are here with the end of part one of American Horror Story double feature. This is Red Tide, this is season 10, and this is episode 6. And the episode was titled Winter Kills. Should have killed a lot of people in this episode, but Winter Kills, huh? Winter Kills. Okay. Alright, you guys, so before we get into this review, if you guys are watching this video or any other on the channel and are not already subscribed to the channel, then I'm going to need you guys to do me a solid favor. Stop taking me out on this date. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell button so you guys are notified when I drop anything else, and share the video. Alright, you guys, so with that out of the way, let's get it. Without further ado, let's get into American Horror Story, shall we? Alright, you guys, so this episode, we see two fishermen. They're getting ready to go out on into the sea, right? And they run over something. They don't know what they ran over, right? So one of the fishermen, he goes and pokes at whatever it is, pulls it to shore, pulls it afloat, and guess who it is? It's the chief that Alma killed episodes ago. I'm like, damn, y'all just really threw the woman's body into the ocean? Like, damn. Y'all act like y'all ain't got no kind of regard for human life at this point, right? So then we are at the city council, and the city council, they are rude as the city council was just rude as hell, right? So they're striking down everything. Now the one that they did strike down, that white paper, when they had held up that white paper, I'm like, baby, what's the difference between this paper? It's both of them are white. Denied. Then they denied a man who wanted to expand his restaurant. Denied. So then there's this trooper by the name of Jan Remy that comes in, right? She tells them that she's running an investigation into the murder of the chief. When I tell you, just like they gaslit Doris last week, they were gaslighting the fuck out of this state trooper. I mean, they telling her that it could have been sharks. She could have got hit by a boat propeller. It could have been this. It could have been that. We got to stop supporting the dolphins, the seagull, the sea lions, whatever. They just gaslit the fuck out of that woman. I'm like, well, damn. And I was thinking to myself, to this trooper lady, I'm like, ma'am, for your safety, I'll just get out of there, right? I get it. You know, you got to do your job, but when you see these people sitting here telling you that, because you're telling them that her neck is slit and that the blood was drained out of her body, and they sitting there talking about a goddamn shark and a boat propeller. Again, what fucking shark is gonna what shark is gonna slit somebody's throat, slit the throat, and not eat the whole body? Like, I'm just make it make sense to me, right? So y'all was just like, ma'am, if I were you, I would really tread lightly, right? So then the guy that was over at, the one that was doing the interior, looking at the interior stuff of Doris's that called it crap last week. So he went over to Belle and Mickey, right? So he's telling them, like, you guys got to do something, because that state trooper lady, I don't know what we're gonna do with her, right? So what happened? So we found out a little bit more about what happens. We all know that they're only there for the season so that they can do their writing, and then they'll disperse back to wherever they came from, right? And I was always wondering, like, what happens to the pale people when the season ends, right? Well, the pale people go into hiding. I'm like, oh, so they pale last, so they're not bloodthirsty? They got enough common sense to go into hiding? Okay, I guess so. So the man on the council, he's telling them that basically, at this point, you guys got to do whatever you got to do to stop this shit, or else we're going to make it hard for you guys, right? And Belle and Austin want to blame it on Hollywood, the Hollywood people. So I'm guessing, so when they said the Hollywood people, I figured it out. I'm like, okay, they're talking about Ursula and Harry. So the guy from the council, he tells them that they want hearing on. I'm like, I do too, but More than that, I'm cool with Harry. The person that I really want gone the most is going to be that damn Alma. I just really want Alma dead. I'm sorry. Forgive me for that. But I just want Alma to, kick up daisies. I really do. But let's move on. Alright, so then we see Harry and Ursula's raggedy ass. So she's reading one of his scripts and she's telling him how good it is. And he's telling her that, they're going to be done with this, right? He tells them come spring, they're done with the pills for good. Now, who got an issue with that? Little Miss Alma. That little raggedy heifer. She's upset about it. She's like, no, Dad. So now that you've done what you got to do, it's just basically screw everyone else at this point? Yes. He's your father. He makes the decisions. Go to hell. And then my notes says, oh, it's time for her to go, right? So Harry's thing is he doesn't want to kill anymore. He wants to basically clean his conscience. I'm like, how can you clean your conscience when you have slit so many people's throats and sucked their blood? It doesn't work like that, buddy. I don't care how many Hail Marys you say, it ain't gonna work. Baby, Alma is the goddamn devil. That little girl is a devil. So she went and hugged Harry and she looked over at Ursula. I was like, oh shit. This little girl gonna be a problem. So Harry, I guess he went to the market and got some supplements and stuff for him and Alma to take. Basically, I guess to kind of wean them off of wanting blood. I don't know how that's gonna happen, right? So he thought he saw Doris outside. Baby, when I tell you Alma doesn't give a shit about Doris, Alma does not give a shit about Doris. She's not even a person anymore. Like, let's forget about her. I'm like, girl, at the end of the day, that is still your mother. Like, I don't care how untalented she is, baby girl, that is still your mother. So I'm guessing what they saw was actually Belle breaking into the house because she stole baby Eli and left the note for Harry. So the note was for Harry and Alma to come over to the house later that day, right? So Alma's like, okay, let's go over there and get Eli. And Harry's like, let's pump the brakes. And she's like, yeah, all of us can do it. And Ursula's like, yeah, that'll just be you two. I'm not coming. And Alma called her a chicken shit little bitch. I was like, Ursula. Again, I don't advocate for violence and I don't advocate for hitting kids, right? But at that moment, I would have took off my shoes and I'm like, look here, little girl. Y'all know that meme where it's that black girl and that baby and they square it up like this? That would have been me and Alma. I would have been like, little girl, you gotta square the fuck up because I'm about to box your ass. Like, I would have beat Alma's ass. So, we next see Ursula. So Ursula has gone to the graveyard, right? And then, all the breakdance and pale people start coming out. I'm like, girl, what are you doing? So at this point, I realized what she was doing, that she was basically, once again, gaslighting the fuck out of these people. So the pale people start surrounding her. So she's telling them she got a new batch of pills, right? And the batch of pills, she's talking about how Lawrence Fishburne, his career. And she's saying that, that batch of pills, it didn't do good for you, right? But this one, it will really help you, right? And it could even cure that whole pale person disease, right? I'm like, girl, you lying like a motherfucker. So, should I pause here? Yeah, we'll pause here. All right, you guys. So, remember, I told you guys that Harry and Alma were supposed to go over to Belle's house, right? To see her and Austin because they have baby Eli. So they get there and, Harry is begging with Belle to give him little, excuse me, I didn't mean to burp in your face, give him little Eli. Y'all know how Belle feels about babies. She loves the baby's blood because it's so pure, right? So he's telling her at this point, like, we'll leave town. We're done with the pills. Like, you don't even have to worry about seeing us ever again. I'm like, Harry, I don't think it's gonna work like that, buddy. Like, their dirty little secret, right? So the chemist, she takes the baby, leaves. Belle and Austin, they're charging, well, actually, they're slow walking with knives to to Harry and Alma. I'm like, if y'all don't just slit that little bitch's throat, I mean to call her a bitch, but I got to. If y'all don't just slit that little bitch's throat, stab that little bitch in the head, do something to that little girl, kill her. I really, really, really wanted Belle and Austin to kill Alma. I don't give a fuck about Harry. It's Alma that I wanted dead. So then, while they're going after them, in bust the Pale people. So the Pale people started attacking Belle and Austin. Now, Belle and Austin were able to stab a few of them, but then they got attacked by some other Pale people and they bled out, right? And they sucked their blood, right? So the chemist comes back down with the baby, and what we find out is the pills that they actually took, those pills, I knew that those pills were never going to reverse what the pale person disease. What it actually did was, I think that the pills that she gave them were the original pills that she created. You guys remember when she was talking about the chimpanzees, right? That the chimps took them, but then eventually the chimps turned on each other, and I think that's the pill that they gave them, because they turned on everyone. They're not just attacking, regular people. They're attacking even the people that have the talent. So Ursula, after they've killed Belle and Austin, Ursula comes in, popping their asses, right? So then Alma and Ursula have cooked up another plan. So Alma was once again embracing Harry. When she did that, she took her teeth out and she sunk her teeth into Harry and killed Harry. I'm like, well, god dang. You fucked your mama over and turned her into a pale person, and now you done killed your daddy. If somebody don't kill that little girl, so what they're gonna do now is they're gonna place the blame all on Harry. I'm like, well, ain't that about a motherfucker? Y'all just gonna blame Harry for the shit. That's fucked up. But let's move on. I think we're gonna move on and probably gonna wrap up. Yeah, because the last part of this episode really wasn't much. But let's move on. All right, you guys. So 3 months later, we see as Alma, Eli, the chemist, and Ursula, they're back out in Hollywood, right? So then we see. I think this is Hollywood Boulevard where we see people at, right? People are on Hollywood Boulevard, and there's a cop. So a cop has turned into a pale person, right? And he's attacking civilians. But then the cop is getting, his counterparts took him out. So we find out a little bit more about what's going on because we see the chemist as she's watching the news, right? So what happens is the chemist, she has been giving pills to basically the bad cops, like how we how we speak about police brutality and social justice, right? So she's giving the pills to the bad cops, the racist cops, so that way it'll turn them into pale people. And then once they attack people, then their friends will have to take them out. I'm like, okay, cool. Now Alma got a little bit of an issue with what the chemist is doing. I'm like, wait a minute, little girl, you got an issue with what she's doing, right? Let's run down the laundry list of shit that you've done. You killed the sheriff of Provincetown. You killed your daddy, and you turned your mama into a pale person. So the last time so from what I can see, you ain't got no room to judge. At least what she's done is weeding out the bad cops, so that way they don't hurt anyone that looks like me and her. But you just a little selfish bitch and just taking out your family for what? Child, and the fact that she's gonna be raised by Ursula, ain't that about a bitch? So then Ursula comes back. So we find out that Ursula has been passing out the pills at the local Starbucks. I'm like, damn. So y'all just gonna be so what y'all about to do is just create a world full of basically pale people. Now, mind you, they do have people that are successful, but Ursula's whole thing is she doesn't have time for an agent, for anybody to tell her who has talent. She's just going out and finding people. I'm like, well, Like the chemist said, you're gonna be creating more pale people. But okay, girlfriend, go off. So they're also at this point letting Alma kill people. I'm like, oh my god, really? Because there's a man in the pool house that Alma went to go eat. I'm like, what? Okay. So then we later see Alma as she's at this audition and she's playing, right? So then it comes down between her and this other guy. So this other guy is just basically, I mean, he was being a bit of a dick to her, right? But Alma deserves it because Alma's a little, we're going to stick with it. We're going to stick with it and we're going to keep calling her what I've been calling her. Y'all can forgive me in the comment section below. But, he's been a little dick to Alma, but Alma's a little bitch. Gotta be real with you. Alma's a little bitch. So I was like, well, damn. A part of me was like, you know what? When he was talking to Alma, I'm like, yep, Alma's going to kill his little ass. And lo and behold, she killed his ass. So then at the end of the episode, we see this man. He's doing this screenwriting seminar, right? And he got into it with one guy and told him to leave. I bet you that guy's glad he left that seminar because then the guy brought out Ursula. Ursula is pushing these damn pills, right? The man comes out like, wait a minute, wait, hold. Pump your brakes, baby girl. That ain't what we discussed. And she went off on him, right? So she told the people like, hey, it's up to you. Either you can take this pill or not. Whatever you want to do. If you want to take it, take it. If not, she said spit or swallow. Everybody in that class took that motherfucking pill. And then at the end of the episode, we see that the city has been turned, it's like pale central. Everyone is pale. I'm like, well, I mean, and you know what they say, a lot of people move out to Hollywood that don't always, there's some people in Hollywood that don't necessarily have talent, but they're out there trying to make a buck out of 15 cents, huh? But yeah, that's the end of part 1. So next week begins part 2, you guys. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode. It wasn't all that much. Let me know what you guys thought about it. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell once you guys are notified when I drop anything else and share the video. On to the next one, you guys. Stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves. Remember, wash your hands, wear a mask, socially distance, and be blessed. And I'm going to catch you guys later. Bye, guys.